Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to start keeping you updated as to what an entire month pretty much will mean for you, depending on your ascendant, which is the rising sign. In Vedic astrology, we call it the Lagna, and your moon sign. Because so many people get so confused. Should I listen to the ascendant? Should I listen to the moon sign? And I say you listen to both. They are both just as important. So find out where your rising sign is in Vedic astrology. It's sidereal, not tropical Western astrology, by going to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Go to my free chart calculator. And once you put in all your information, your time of birth, your day, your year, your place, scroll down to the bottom. Do not try to read the North Indian style chart. Nobody understands it. The numbers are for signs, not houses. So just disregard that, because at the very bottom, it will tell you simply AS. That is your ascendant. It will tell you the sign. And then look where it says moon. It will tell you the sign, clear as day. So once you have those two signs, I want you to pay attention to both of them. Now, the ascendant is personally just you, what's going to be happening to you. But the moon is vitally important to understand too, because it's what you're going to be feeling. And trust me, what you're feeling is really, really, really important. And it is actually pretty much a reality. And one does not discount the other. It just gives you more information, okay? So now I'm going to be talking to you. If you have your ascendant for the month of June, I'm going to be talking about all 12 ascendants. And so you're going to be looking up your ascendant rising sign, as well as your moon sign. And they're going to give you so much information as to what you can expect for the entire month of June. Okay, let's begin. So, and one more thing, while you're at my website, looking up your rising sign, and which is the ascendant, and your moon sign, don't forget to sign up for my free newsletter. That is how you're going to get all my predictions delivered to your email address every week. And also, don't forget, if you're wanting to learn Vedic astrology, I have an incredible school. The new start date is about to start July 6th this year. So get in, go to University of Vedic Astrology.com. Now, let's dig in here. What is June going to be like? If you have your moon or your ascendant in Gemini. So Gemini is the sign where you are so cognitive, always thinking. But this means that during this month of June, you have both Jupiter and Mars, for the most part, in your 10th house of your career. So this is a fantastic month for you career-wise, exceptional. There's going to be expansion and growth. And also remember, if your moon sign is Gemini. So what I'm talking about right now is not just the ascendant, but the moon sign. Yes, you will have career opportunities. You're going to expand. Great things are happening for you with your work, your social standing, how you appear to the public. Now, Rahu has been in your 11th house, which tells me you are meeting some very influential people, especially with Venus joining Rahu this month. This is going to be an amazing month for meeting new friends, important people coming into your life. And another thing is, well, I'm going to talk about Ketu being in your 5th. You are coming up with all sorts of new ideas, but this really does cover the whole entire year. And so I'm going to focus in on, and the sun will be in your 12th house till about the 15th of June. Then you're going to find that the second part of the month for Gemini is going to be extremely progressive in terms of you finding yourself, what you want to be doing. And let me just say, it's a great, great month for career opportunities. So if your rising sign is in Cancer, then this means that you are really wanting to travel. And remember, it's not just the moon in Cancer. I mean, it's not just the ascendant, but the moon in Cancer as well. I want you to listen to this. So what this is telling me is definitely this is the time you want to be traveling, getting away. You're learning so much about spirituality and your whole disposition about the world. Your beliefs have really come under scrutiny and are changing dramatically. And yes, there's something very important happening to you career-wise with Venus and Rahu in your 10th house. This is the house of career. So you're expanding as well, and something very positive is happening. And with the sun will pretty much be in your 11th house with Mercury till the second part of the month. So the first part of the month, you're going to find that you're coming together with more friends, more associates. But the second part of the month, you want to go more within. And I kind of feel like the second part of the month, you may have some travel plans to a foreign place. And take advantage of that if that does come up. Okay, if your ascendant or your moon is in Leo, then you know what? Pretty much June is usually a month that you do well career-wise, because the sun is pretty much in your 10th house for most of the month, for half of the month. The second half of the month, all that you have been putting in, all the work starts to pay out. So the first half, you're working and you're successful. The second half, you can put it more in automatic gear. But if you have a Leo rising, let me just say, or moon, then there is something about foreigners and travel that could come up, and a new learning spiritually. Don't be over the top about any spiritual cults or things like that, because you're going to be attracted to that. Be careful about that. And also take note of your father. Your father may need your help if he's still around. But I'm a little concerned about Mars and Jupiter being in your 8th house. This is a time that you really need to pull within, and it's a great time to consolidate financially. You're going to be bringing in some good money, especially through other people. But the 8th house can be very difficult. Take care of the people you love, because there is possibly some kind of crises that could happen this particular month concerning either your father or siblings. Take care and use your intuition. You are really opening to a whole new world of intuition and psychic ability. So if your moon or your rising sign sits in Virgo, you've been kind of having a rough time with your partner. They've been a little bit too maybe aggressive or combative. Be aware of Mars transiting in your 7th house during this time with Jupiter. So I would say don't egg them on. Don't make them more angry, because then you're going to have fights and say things you regret. So just lay low with that. Now the Venus Rahu is going to be in your 8th house. Let's see. And yeah, that's not an easy combination either, because let me just say the 8th house deals with all sorts of things you can't see coming at you. And yes, you will have a lot of psychic flashes and things come to you. Use that for what it's good for. And you may travel with Mercury being in your 9th house. Travel plans look good. Or maybe a new school or education's coming about. Take those classes. And in the second part of the month, your work and your career will take off. So if your rising sign, ascendant, or your moon sign sits in Libra, this is a very interesting time for you. If you're not in a relationship, look out, you could fall in love. Why? We are looking at Venus Rahu in your 7th house, and that could be a major, major attraction where it could be a big surprise. Someone comes into your life within the next month or so, yes, or before the end of this year, with Rahu being in the 7th house. But in your 6th house, you've got the Mars, Jupiter. Take care of your health. And yes, and don't overwork. This is a month that you finally feel like you got to put in the hours, but don't let it stress you out. And don't let coworkers upset you with anything that they may say. You just keep doing your job and lay low. And if you have your own business, be aware that your employees may be a problem during this time. Now, the Sun and Mercury are in your 8th house. This is the time of year that you pretty much pull in. And every year it's like this. But I'll say once the Sun goes into your 9th house, the second half of the month, you'll be looking at travel plans. You'll be looking at learning new things and maybe connecting more with your dad if he's still around. Okay. So let's go to if your ascendant or your moon is in Scorpio. Then this means for the month of June that a lot is going to be happening concerning relationships and partners. You're bringing things together in a partnership role. The second half of the month, you will go more within. You won't be as outwardly expressive. You'll be more turning within. But, with Rahu and Venus being in your 6th house, it is a time to get on a new health regime. Get healthy, because it seems like there's been a lot of excess going on in your diet and all that you do. But take care of yourself. It's a time to focus in on health and healing. And with the Jupiter-Mars being in your 5th house, you are vastly creative during this time. You might even take up writing or painting or just creating a whole new business, because the whole time that Jupiter and Mars are here, you have the energy and you're driven. Major ideas, act on them now. Okay, if your rising ascendant sign is Sagittarius or your moon, then you might be doing something to your home and your property this month. Maybe renovating, maybe thinking about moving, but doing something to the house. Maybe you've already been doing it for the past month or so, but this is a time for changes with the home, the property, maybe even the working with the plants in the yard, getting all of the things looking beautiful around your house. But you are really creative too this month. Yes, maybe that's where you're going to be creating, making your house more beautiful. Now, if you have children, be aware that you need to pay more attention to them. They may be acting out because they need more of your attention with Rahu Venus in your 5th house. Now the Sun Mercury is in your 6th house, so you are getting healthy. You are working out more. You are thinking more about diet, nutrition, what needs to be done to get back on track. And yeah, this is a great month for your creative pursuits. So be aware of that. Now, if you're rising ascendant or your moon sitting Capricorn, then this is the month that I feel like you're looking at your financial matters, Saturn's in the 2nd, more closely. You're more concerned about the money matters. Now, in the 3rd house, you have the Jupiter-Mars. You're wanting to take classes, learn more, and traveling. Yeah, probably some short distance trips, maybe by car you'll be taking this month. It's time to get out. So with Venus Rahu in your 5th 4th house, you are doing something new to your home. And maybe even you're thinking about buying a car. Venus can be vehicles. So it is the time, luxury items you want to purchase. And it's a good time to do so. And looking at where your Sun and your Mercury are, yes, they go to the 5th house. And this means that, yeah, you're going to be doing something very creative the very first part of the month. And then the second part of the month, you're going to be looking more into working harder, putting in more hours. That's how I see. And a Capricorn ascendant or moon is all about work for the most part. Let's say you have a moon or an ascendant in Aquarius. This has been an off and on time period for you, basically because Saturn keeps going in and out of your sign. For the month of June, Saturn is in Aquarius. So you're looking at being more responsible, and you're definitely wanting to get more disciplined and focus in all that you do. But I'll tell you, be careful with your spending. Jupiter, Mars are in your 2nd house. You don't want to overspend because you might find that there's a big surprise in terms of a bill that may come when you least expect it. But I will say this, you are making money, lots of money during this time, so you'll be able to afford it. Now, looking at Venus and Rahu in your 3rd house. There may be some issues that arise concerning a sibling. So you're going to have to work together with that. And another thing is, I feel like you're going to feel more creative and want to start doing something to express yourself, or even taking some classes or some kind of education. And you are really pretty much hunkering down to spend more time at home, especially with your mother, if she's still around. But the second part of the month, that will all change, where you're going to be doing something outside of the home, and you're going to be doing something much more freeing and creative. So what if you have an ascendant or a moon in Pisces? This is great because Jupiter is in your sign, pretty much, of course, this whole month, but for a long time. And Jupiter being in your sign, Mars is there. So you've had a lot more energy and willpower and drive to get things done. Go for it. This is a great month for action and starting new projects. You're going to do great. And another thing is, money is going to be coming your way throughout this year, but particularly this month, something really gives you a big boost financially and energetically. So I do see travels the first half of the month with the Sun and Mercury there, mainly short distance by car probably. So enjoy. This is a great month for basically most Pisces moons and rising signs. So let's say you have a moon or an ascendant in Aries. Then this is like a power-packed month for you in terms of being attractive, changing your look, changing everything about maybe even the way you dress. You got Venus, Rahu in your 1st house, but that Jupiter Mars is in the 12th. So be aware you cannot be boggled down with the past. Just let go of things that have been bothering you, that keep coming up in your mind. You gotta let it go. Don't let your past control your future anymore. That's not a good thing. And I'll say this, the Sun and Mercury are going to be in your 2nd house for the first part of the month. So you have new ideas with making money and you will be very successful. Then probably the second part of the month, you'll be traveling more. So look for that. Let's say that your ascendant or your moon are in Taurus. Taurus is where the Sun for the first half of the month is in your 1st house, and Mercury will be there. So you're feeling very adamant about what you want. You know exactly what you want. But then by the second half of the month, you're going to put it into action and start achieving and gaining, because Mercury Sun will be in your second house of finances and money. But the Venus Rahu in your 12th, let go of any attachments to the things, especially with love and romance, that you have been stuck with. Let it go. This is not a time to dwell in the past. And you could be traveling. You could be traveling to a foreign place. But most of all for you, this is the month to meet new friends, new associates, and maybe even old friends come back, because you're going to have the Jupiter-Mars in your 11th house. And just looking at Saturn being in your 10th for this month, you're working hard. Things are coming along nicely for you. There's been so much energy in the sign of Taurus, Scorpio, that I think things are going to get a lot easier for you in the future. So with that, I have covered all 12 signs. I hope that you've gleaned something about your life and how this month of June is going to be for all of you based on your ascendant and your moon sign. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like more information about me, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org, and check out my university website if you've always wanted to learn Vedic astrology, University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.